All right, we'll go ahead and get started. We're joined from Tennessee by head coach Holly Warlick, student athletes Megan Simmons and Sierra Burdick. We'll take an opening comment from Coach Warlick, then we'll take questions for the student athletes, followed by questions for Coach Warlick. Coach?
Yeah, it's a hard-fought game, and it's survive and advance. And these young ladies found a way to win, and we played in spurts. And so we got to go back and defend the ball a whole lot better. But I was proud of their effort and to finish the game with the win.
We'll take questions for the student athletes. We've got microphones on either side. If you want to raise your hand, we'll get you a microphone. John.
Megan, and going back to Sunday's game, you guys really looked rushed against Kentucky. But when you came out today, you pushed the tempo, and really that gave you that advantage. You were able to force the tempo, push the fast tempo, and were successful. Could you kind of contrast the difference in those two games?
It was a major difference. I think we came out a lot more hungry this game. We had a lot of high energy from the coaches on down, and we started off, a little slow, but then after a while, we picked it up, and we played each, 4-minute segments, and made sure that we did the little things out there on the floor, and that kind of gave us an advantage in pushing the tempo, like you said, making sure we play Tennessee basketball, because when we do that, the game goes good for us, and it's a great game for all of us.
Sierra, can you talk about just the team's performance? I mean, 6 people in double figures. It seemed like you all collectively played with so much balance. Can you just talk about that today?
I think on the offensive end, we're just talented, and we've got a bunch of people that can score the basketball, and, that's one of our strong points as a team. So if we just continue to share the basketball the way we are, then I think we'll be successful down the line, but we've got to continue to pick it up on defense, because offense isn't our problem, it's the defensive end.
Any other questions for the athletes? All right, we'll take questions for Coach Warlick. John?
Holly, was that a point of emphasis to come out and force the tempo, a high, fast tempo as you did, because that got you that early 17-4 lead?
It was, John. We wanted to push the ball and make or miss. We wanted a fast tempo game. I thought we set the tone early. I thought Florida did a great job of adjusting. They went to a zone. We wanted to attack on the offensive end, and I thought for the most part, the first part of the game we did. But we've got to go back to the drawing board. We got to get down and defend some people. We're not going to always outscore people, and we've got to make defense our priority. And I thought the first 10 minutes we set the tone, and then we just get comfortable. We get a lead and we get comfortable, and we've got to continue. We got to have that killer instinct in us and finish the game the way we start the game.
Any other questions? Again, John?
Holly, you want to force a fast tempo, and your team seems to play well offensively when it does that. Yet you have to balance that with your lack of doubt playing 3 games in 3 days possibly. How do you do that, and how does that impact your strategy?
Well, Florida's a great basketball team. They're physical, they're athletic. I think Amanda does a great job, and I would have liked to have played more people, but I just didn't see the opportunity to do that. So, yeah, that comes to strategy now. Are we going to have legs? We're going to have it in us to push the game the way we want to play the next game and the next game. So we've just got to dig deep, and we're not going to go away from our game plan. Got to use probably more timeouts and more strategic time, but pushing the ball and a fast tempo has got us here. So we can't go away from that right now. And I thought towards the end I almost backed off too early, but it worked out. But yeah, we're going to have to really be strategic in what we do and timeouts and get people some minutes, because it was a hard-fought game, and I knew it would be. I knew Florida's competitive, and they're trying to get in the tournament, and they're a tough opponent to play, and we knew that from the get-go.
Any others? John, another one?
Holly, going back to that, that's kind of what was puzzling a bit about the Kentucky game, in that you guys do like to play a fast tempo, and they wanted to play a fast tempo as well, and you guys just looked rush instead of fast. How do you explain that?
Well, John, we weren't very good. I don't even know what else to say. We were bad, and we regrouped. It was not a good game for us, and you can't win a game. You turn the ball over 30, 31, 32 times, whatever we did. I lost count after 25, but 31. There you go. But we went back, and I think we learned from that. I think for the most part today, I don't know how many turnovers we ended up with, but at first half we had 6, I think. So this team is young, and we're going to continue to learn. But we weren't ready. We came off a big game against Texas A&M, and you go into a hostile environment against Kentucky, and we were not ready for that. And I think as long as we learn from it, and it's a teaching point and a teaching moment, then I'll take that. So I think it got us refocused. I'm not real sure if we would have beat Kentucky there, we would have had the focus that we had today against a very good Florida team. So we're always living in the moment and learning from how we can get better. And as a coach, we want to make sure our staff makes sure that we continue to get these kids better. We got to get better. We got to get better before tomorrow. We got to get a better mental game, and we've got to get rest because the game's going to be, whichever team we play, it's going to be physical and up and down. So it's part of this tournament, and it's part of most of how the teams in the SEC play. It's up and down. It's physical. It's fast, and everybody has to do that. So you got to play back to back to some 4 back to backs to get the job done. So we just got to suck it up and figure out what we need to do to get it done.
Johnny?
Holly, because of that, might you stress rest more while you're down here? I mean, are you talking to the players about that, how you got to rest more and try to sleep longer?
Yeah, we
Are
yeah.
they listening? Or
No, the biggest thing that we do for these kids is we snatch their cell phones. So that just stresses that. Then they gotta rest. They can't get on the phone, stay up late. So they know we're going to get them rest. We get them off their feet and make sure they're in their rooms. And yeah, I think yeah. And after this, we're going to go and take ice baths. Everybody has to get in an ice bath, not the coaches, thank goodness. And but yeah. But we're doing what I think we need to do to make sure that they get rest, because that's what it's all about. You get past this game, you survive and advance. So now we're advancing, and now our focus is on one of these 2 teams, and rest is going to be huge for us, huge, because of our lack of depth.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.